Hi, Scott again, and that's me just finished my appointment back in the car from seeing a new service apartment in Glasgow. So recording this quick video before I start driving, and in the last video I mentioned our unique approach to our staffing, and it all hinges around our regional property managers. So if you look at the normal way of structuring big businesses, certainly management companies and anything to do with hospitality bookings, then you have a big office, normally a call centre when it gets to a certain size, and everybody phones in and emails there, and you have one central team, one central hub, an HQ that deals with everything. All the guest inquiries, all the landlord inquiries all go to one place. Now, that was not something I ever wanted to build. I didn't want to have 9 to 5 roles for people. I wanted to make something different. I wanted to tie our staff into a certain lifestyle and way of doing things that meant they had loyalty to us because of what we could give them back. And also, I've phoned up hotels, phoned a local geographical number, and then get through to a call centre somewhere crazy in the world when I wanted to get to that specific hotel. I had questions. So I found it very infuriating when you can't actually speak to the people that's dealing with your stuff. You're not speaking to someone that's in your area that knows anything to do with it. Well, I think it was I was fair specifically to a trip to Edinburgh, and it was somewhere I don't even know. It certainly wasn't in Scotland, but they didn't know anything about the hotel. They were reading off scripts, and to me that isn't the way to build a big business. I wanted to totally avoid that. So our regional property managers, they don't work from HQ. We select a regional property manager who lives and works in the individual areas that they operate from. So normally local authority areas, so it could be Glasgow, Edinburgh, Perth, Cumbria, certain areas of London, different areas, and each property manager has a maximum of 50 properties that they manage. So their job is to manage the properties within their area, as well as driving as many bookings to the owners as possible. So the unique approach that I mentioned is kind of twofold. So they don't come into offices, they work from home, and the first thing is that it's all about their work-life balance. So if you've got a normal office job, you traditionally work 9 to 5, but that doesn't work for the service accommodation holiday home industry. People are booking from different places in the world in different time zones. So it's important for us that our staff don't work 9 to 5. They're very flexible, so they get the work-life balance of being able to pick their own hours and work their own shifts. So if they're taking kids to school, not a problem. If they've got a hobby, if they like going to the gym, it's not a problem. They do it. Now they have certain tasks they need to do every single day. They have certain KPIs like responding to guest inquiries as soon as possible, but the regional property managers are not expected to do 9 to 5. Quite the opposite. They need to work evenings, they need to work weekends, they need to deal with guests that can't get in, they need to deal with problems and emergencies out with normal working hours. So we want them to have a lifestyle whereby they're committed to working evenings and weekends, but they're rewarded with the flexibility of doing their own thing for a few hours a day if they want. So they don't work 9 to 5. You get their own personal email address and mobile phone number, so we don't deal with landlines really. It's all mobiles direct to the person managing your property. So you as the owner have any queries, you get direct to them, and that's the exact same for the guests. As soon as a guest book, they get the email address and the mobile of their personal property manager. If they have problems getting in, they phone the property manager. If they have a question about a local restaurant, then that's the property manager that can answer that. Transport links, things happen in the area, how to get to properties. The local property managers who live and work in each area know these things. They're best placed to answer them, and they're not done in a call centre. So it's people that have physically been to the properties, and they're invested in making the guests happy, because one of their KPIs is the guest satisfaction score always needs to be 5-star, or in booking.com above 8 stars. So that is that's what we need to have. Now the regional property managers are different for another main reason, which is very, very important, is the fact that they are self-employed. They are commission only, so they don't get a wage. And if you look at someone working in a call centre, say London, a random example, and they get a wage for managing their 50 properties or 100 properties, now there is no incentive for them to go on and get more bookings and do above and beyond and work hard at evenings and weekends to fill those properties, because they get their wage regardless. In fact, it could be answered that someone in a wage is actually happier with less bookings because there's less hassle, there's less work. So there's no incentive for people in the call centre type way of doing things, the traditional way of managing properties, the centralised hub, to get as many bookings as possible. But when you take our approach, the regional property managers with commission only, these guys, their income is financially linked to the success of your property. So if it is low occupancy, they get low money. So property managers do things like they go to building sites and ask the guys where they're working, do they need accommodation, do they have friends, do they have other people, are they doing other building projects in the area, can we be the accommodation provider? They build links with local businesses to get discounts, to encourage people to stay with us rather than someone else. They hit up forums, Facebook, they put ads, we do Facebook ads. There's so many things that the property managers do to fill your properties. And it means that we guarantee to make you more money than doing it yourself. The infrastructure we have and the approach that the regional property managers takes, I think we can get you more bookings than any other company out there. It's just, I think it's a nice mix of everything we do. But the regional property managers have been financially linked to the success of your property is so important. I've seen all over the country regional property managers getting very excited when they get big bookings. Now that's exciting because they're doing a good job for you, but they get a cut of that. They get a cut of the management fees that Pillow take. And as well as the regional property managers there, we found that some are very good at property managing, some need a little bit of help, some need some help going out and getting the bookings and speaking to corporate clients, for example. So we also have a regional manager, so as we record this, Joe. So Joe goes out and trains everybody. He goes to the different areas, trains up the property managers. He's there to support them. So if they're struggling to get properties bookings, he goes out and speaks to corporates, and there's that extra layer of help and support. So it's the regional property managers and then the regional manager above that. And then, of course, I'm at the top and the whole of the Pillow HQ team doing the marketing and doing the big things. So there's a regional property managers literally on the ground, walking into corporate places, trying to get their staff, seeing who's building projects in the area. And then there's the whole activity at HQ. So I'm going to cut this off so it's not too long a video. And I'll cover all the other things we do to get you bookings that isn't specifically linked to your property managers, although they are the key in all this. Thanks for watching.